Someone's here.
Terry.
Terry?
Are you going to commentate, Terry?
We need you to root for Nate. No one else is.
He helped Nate, so...
See if my computer explodes.
If Terry helped Nate, I hope he just taught him wrong on purpose to support the team swore.
We trained him wrong as a joke.
How do you like my face to your fist style? I am bleeding, making me the victor.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you all streaming already? Like record?
Yeah, I just started the recording.
Oh, okay. Just for clarification, I did some practice battles with Nathan, but I didn't really tell him any strategies to do.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, no, that's it's not a...
I couldn't bring myself to more than that.
I helped Jack some. I know you did too.
Yeah.
Hands up.
Oh, there's Taurus. Okay, so...
There's no toga kit. That's pretty big.
Your audio got kind of weird. There.
So he didn't bring toga kit.
No Toga Kiss, that's crazy.
Jack was very crazy. He was very worried about it. So
Toga Kiss was the last one I was expecting to not be there.
yeah, I as well.
I hope this still... he prepared so much for Toga Kiss, I'm worried.
Yeah. And Jack didn't bring Como, so it actually looks like toga kit's not coming was probably okay, but the redirection was going to be pretty difficult for Jack to deal with, I think.
When we did our matches, he decided Durant would be a better option. Since Toga Kiss completely invalidates Komo'o. But
yeah,
there's no Toga Kiss and there's no Komo'o, so he got invalidated anyway by simply not being present. So we've got two redirectors on Jack's team with Clefairy and Tangrowth.
have none on 8. It kind of looks like Nate opted for the hyper offense approach.
Yeah, and Tauros has the Intimidate, which can definitely hurt Jack's team if it's used properly.
Yeah, most of his Pokemon are physical attackers.
Primarily, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Arcanine could be both, and their aura, I guess, leans more physical. Well, it does.
Its special move is physical. Its main attacking move is physical, but it definitely has some other stuff. But yeah, Durant and Crawdont have no special attack.
Yeah. I mean, Crawdont's looking pretty nice here.
Yeah, there's nothing that resists Crawdont here, aside from Keldeo. It's the only really threat to it. That Keldeo is super fast, but he's got all kinds of stuff ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got lots of redirect.
Pronate commentary,
Nothing.
I'm curious to see.
Trick Room could be good for Nate.
Mm-hmm.
Most of Seth's team is fast. Except for the
Keldeo, Tauros, and Persian are very... Well, a lot of them are pretty fast, actually, aside from Marowak.
Yeah, Yeah, but Marowak, I guess with Tangrowth, doesn't look that great. And a Crawdon probably just obliterates Marowak
Mm-hmm.
with Aqua Jet.
Oh wait, should I do my radio voice for this? Since it is the finals. Well, gentlemen, it looks like we've got a pretty exciting finals game. We're coming into this last match. So, we see here that DahGuyNate has brought some fearsome Pokemon, but surprisingly leaving the Togekiss behind. And we see on Cepherus 2's side, we have a variety of Pokemon. No Komodo, though. It appears that in case of Togekiss, he left Komodo at home. Understandable decision, but it's really exciting to see these two face off against each other. Both challengers have been just so unpredictable the entire season. There's really no idea as to what each one of them are going to show up, aside from the people who helped them prepare for this specific match.
Yeah, I think the strength of these two teams is the fact that there's a lot of flexibility in the sticks that they can bring. So it becomes very difficult to prep. Because if you prep for a version of their team and they bring a different combination, it can just completely throw off your game plan. So
Right. That's why it's so important in the last week to get those trades out so you don't have two deadweight Pokemon that make your team very predictable. Like in my case.
And I think that's kind of why these two are here in the championships right now, is because they've got multiple variations of their team, and a lot of times I don't think people look at like Nate's team or Jack's team and think, wow, like I got to be worried about this. And I think they completely gloss over certain things and just get completely bodied because they forgot that they've got two other Pokemon that they didn't consider and bring.
Mm-hmm.
So
they just look at the last couple of matches and then prepare for those.
Yep. Oh yeah, he used this 3 matches in a row now. I'm going to prep for that, and then he just doesn't even bring it like Togekiss, right?
Right, and Tangrowth in this case. Making an appearance, who hasn't really seen a lot of the light of day on Jack's team.
All right, we ready to get this party started?
Yeah, let's
get in there.
Game 1 action.
I'll be highly surprised if we see a sweep on either side, to be honest.
It depends on the lead. Well, that's okay.
Okay, so we got a
Intimidate
Psychic
for
Seed.
everybody.
Yeah.
With the Psychic Seed on Arcanine. He was prepared for the Psychic Terrain to show up.
Yeah, that was a good idea there.
Looks like it might be a bulky set. The Zero Aura Shiny is really good. I think both players agreed to have all Shinies.
Championship.
Gotta have it. But with the Psychic Terrain out, we can't see a Fake Out.
Yeah, Tauros doesn't feel real good with an Intimidate either. We could see a Trick Room from the Indeedee.
Maybe.
Or just a big Expanding Force, because nothing out resists.
Maybe even a Dynamax from Zero Aura to change the terrain up.
Yeah, but the Intimidate, if it's physical, is not gonna go. I don't know that I have a Dynamax. You're physical at -1.
That's true.
Yep,
There comes the Expanding Force. That was pretty fast.
Wow.
And it missed? He must be Scarfed. Yeah, it has to be a Stomping Tantrum.
-3, that's
Missing the Indeedee with that Electro Web is pretty painful.
That's really rough.
Because
that
now
Indeedee has like
is just going to destroy you.
in his match against Kokosho, indeed he also got a critical miss with a snarl. But we know that thing is scarfed and not sashed.
Yeah.
That's one thing
Okay.
you can probably take comfort in.
There.
You see another expanding force that does nothing to Crawdaunt.
And there goes the Arcanine. Life Orb on the Tauros.
Sadly, with the psychic terrain, Crawdaunt can't use his favorite move, but he's still going to hit really, really hard.
Well, indeed he can't touch Crawdaunt because it's scarfed into expanding force. And Tauros is about to kill itself with a move.
So all he has to do is redirect it.
Yeah, and Crawdaunt's got a free move into Indeedee slot, whatever.
I'm not even sure he needs to redirect with his attack stat as low as it is on that Tauros. Outside of a crit, there's no way it's going to do any substantial damage to that shrimp.
He redirects it anyway.
I would almost have protected, maybe. That's a lot of damage.
Flamethrower.
Wow.
No, he was prepared for the Durant there. Instant kill with the knockoff there.
Yeah, no surprise.
No one has Dynamaxed yet.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. So it's 3-2. There's Keldeo and Marowak.
I think this is... I think we're going to see 2 Dynamaxes this turn.
Yeah, but does Crawdaunt have anything to hit Keldeo? It completely just obliterates Marowak, but...
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. If he redirects this turn and lets Tangrowth die, he can send in...
yeah, he can bring in
Zeraora next turn.
Absolutely, for free.
Which outspeeds it, even though it's in the red.
Unless he max Airstream.
Ooh, that is something to be concerned about, which he might do.
Yeah.
There it is. The Koba Berry doesn't help.
Too low health.
Max Geyser, ugh, rough. Into the Marowak.
Alright, so...
The Lightning Rod here is going to be a huge problem.
Well, Electroweb would still connect. And Marowak's the slowest thing on the field, so you would just knock Keldeo back to neutral unless he Airstreamed again. But Airstream may not pick up the KO on Zeraora. Because Zeraora took 50% from a stab expanding force. I'm assuming it's maybe vested, because that's not a lot of damage from an expanding force.
I don't know, we gotta see something here, because right now Zeraora is likely being outsped.
So there's one more
guard here.
Oh, that's not good. There was one more turn of Psychic Terrain, so we couldn't fake out anything.
Right. If that, Ooh.
Yep.
That's a really strong, fighting move there. Alright, so that's game 1. Again, like I said, it wasn't a sweep. It wasn't going to be a sweep either way. Both players played extremely well.
Do we think either side's going to switch it up for the second game?
I think they both will switch it up.
Honestly, I don't think that lead worked super well for either one of them. I think maybe the lead was a little bit better on Jack's end, but he may bring some different Pokemon in the back, potentially.
Cepherus might stick with the same thing just because the Electro Web, if that had landed, would have put him in a really good position that game.
I don't know. Flamethrower Tauros. It didn't look like he had many answers to Durant with that comp. So,
right.
If I was Nate, I would want to have something for Durant in case he brings it this game. And Nate's the guy that kind of likes to switch it up between games. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we might see an Entei appearance here.
Yeah, he ran it with Inner Focus with Ruin Orb a week or so ago. Which, if Jack leads the same thing with Arcanine, it's going to give it a nice speed boost.
Mm-hmm. And it can't be faked out, so I think Inner Focus is definitely the play. Really interested to see how this is going to start up. He might save his Psychic Terrain for later in this game, or maybe just set it up at the beginning, who knows.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Indeedee did its job by just chunking the things that were out and outspeeding everything, so... I think Indeedee also gets Dazzling Gleam, so Nate could predict the switch this game if the leads were the same, and just click Dazzling Gleam and catch Crawdaunt on the switch, which was pretty easy for him.
There's just so many options that either player could do, and you just have no idea.
Yeah, because if Crawdaunt has nothing for Keldeo, then Keldeo just walls it completely. And Marowak has to run Thunder Punch to hit Crawdaunt. If he doesn't run Thunder Punch, it doesn't have a move into Crawdaunt at all.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Boomerang, so... And Detect. So there's two moves we don't know yet.
Another thing is, we're still not even sure if the Zero Aura is special or not. Considered that as a possibility, but he's using Electro Web, but he could still be physical in using Electro Web. He hasn't really used any big moves yet.
Right.
So we see that Nate hasn't changed up his lead.
True. He might have something different in the bag. So Rage Powder will work for Tauros, but it's not going to do anything to an Expanding Force here.
Right, which is going to come first. It's even faster than Zero Aura.
Because of the Scarf. So,
What even is Zero Aura packing?
I wonder if Jack realizes it's a Scarf. He has to, right? I mean, nothing outspeeds Zero Aura like that.
Right, yeah, it's a big tell. If anything moves before Zero Aura, it's got to be Scarfed.
Like, even at min speed, I think it outspeed.
So we know Tauros has Flamethrower, that could damage the Tangrowth pretty hard.
Yeah, maybe. It's got like 45 special attacks, so...
Which
is about the same as Tangrowth's special defense.
I guess that's true. But it's not a stab either, so... I think... Oh,
Dynamaxing Zero Aura, taking that Expanding Force, and Max Darkness, and it doesn't kill. Wow. Body Slam.
With the parallel on the Tangrowth.
He's still got one more Rage Powder in it, but if it doesn't go off, then it doesn't go off.
I mean,
the Rage Powder's not going to matter because the Expanding Force will kill it.
So, what ability does Tangrowth get? Could it be...
Leaf Guard.
Doesn't it get Regenerator?
I think it also gets Regenerator.
We could see him swap it out here for Crawdaunt, now that he's got this Indeedee locked into Expanding Force.
It'd be nice to get some, yeah, there we go.
He could Lightning to get rid of the terrain, or Overgrowth.
Max Overgrowth.
What is that?
I think we are looking at a special Zero Aura.
Is that Grass Knot?
Yeah, I believe that's Grass Knot. I think he finally revealed it. That would explain why the Indeedee survived that. max darkness. Otherwise, there's no chance, even with the minus attack drop.
Right.
Now he can.
He is free to aqua jet to his heart's content. That I'm sure this Marowak will not enjoy.
Or the Indeedee, for that matter. If he's want to take that out first.
So
Indeedee's dead weight, I believe, because without the terrain, expanding force isn't hitting both, and it ain't doing as much damage.
That's true.
But it's Scarf, so he could swap out and save it in the back for a sweep in the back.
That is true.
And bring out the terrain again.
And since Zeraor's got Grass Knot, if Marowak lives one attack, then he can Dynamax. Like, he could Dynamax a Max Guard and take no damage, and then Zeraor can't hit Marowak because of Dynamax, because Grass Knot doesn't work. Yeah.
Max Guard, there we go. And he sticks with it. He puts the expanding force in.
Okay.
And he max overgrowths the other one. Interesting.
Well, yeah. So there's Keldeo.
I don't think Keldeo is very heavy. A Grass Knot's probably not going to do a lot of damage to it.
It also outspeeds Crawdaunt, so Crawdaunt's not going to be able to hit Marowak. Because I imagine a Liquidation can do a lot to Marowak.
He almost has to go for the Aqua Jet or a Protect.
Well, let's see here. If Zeraora is special, he could potentially just kill those Keldeo. Oh wait, no, Lightning Rod. Right, never mind.
Well, he's got Electro Web. Could -1 be enough for Crawdaunt to outspeed?
If it's a max speed Crawdaunt, maybe.
I don't think Crawdaunt kills it.
It doesn't matter. He swapped out.
Okay, we're swapping.
He did go for that. That did a lot of damage for an Electro Web.
Wow. Oh.
And he is running the Regenerator.
Yeah, but that's policy. Oh, okay.
Alright, so we're down to a 2v2. I'm not sure what kills the Keldeo at this point.
Does he have the Durant in the back?
Yeah, but if he does, then it's Hustle. You're playing with fire.
We have Clefairy. Double redirection. Awesome.
So I don't know that Keldeo's got much to hit Clefairy with, but Marowak gets Iron Head, which would be pretty big into Crawdaunt.
Pretty lethal. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Question is, does Crawdaunt have anything for Keldeo? Because if he doesn't, this could be GG because of that.
Keldeo he really just likes his stat. That's a weakness policy too. But honestly, I mean, a Liquidation from a Crawdaunt could possibly kill it. I mean, even if it's just it's really strong in that regard.
It is true. I don't think Keldeo has the best defense. Oh, that did nothing. Oh,
ooh, still didn't kill.
Oh,
I think it's in Aqua Jet range now, but the Marowak is still there.
And that healing, I doubt it.
I don't think so with the healing.
I think that's GG's. Yeah, even Jack thinks that's GG's.
Yeah. I mean, I would try the Aqua Jet. Maybe you crit. But Marowak is still going to hit pretty hard here.
Got the Protect.
Yeah.
I might would have Aqua Jet that turn before he got more healing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
See if we can't... See what happens.
We don't know what Crawdaunt's item is, do we? Because I think
we saw it was Life Orb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't do enough. Yep. It's GG. 2-0.
Really good reversal.
Yeah, I think maybe the Dynamax Zeraor at the start was not the best play.
It was a good lead. I got a good start, but Saving the Dynamax for the end is very powerful.
I think maybe the not killing Ndidi was a huge issue because it allowed the Ndidi to just smack him a couple more turns with expanding.
Right. I don't think he was expecting it to not kill.
Yeah. So probably Scarf with some bulk. Probably what it was.
Let's see. Probably like just enough speed to outspeed Zeraora and then with a Scarf. Did someone join?
How you feeling, buddy?
I mean, I feel okay. It wasn't, I wish I could have taken it to game 3, and I thought I was going to, but then I think the weakness also proc. It honestly didn't lose me the game, but it definitely didn't help. I think my Gambit game 2 was really good, honestly. I think maxing Zeraora turn 1 probably really caught him off guard, and I think it really set me up really well for the end game. It does suck that I had to kind of be in a situation where I didn't have Dynamax anymore, but I was hoping that if I could bust through that opening bit, that maybe it could open up the end a little bit better. I think I probably shouldn't have brought Clefairy, maybe Durant, but then I would have had to contend with Hustle. So I don't really know, honestly, what I could have done to win that game. I just think that my prep, I just went in circles for my prep, dude. It was just so hard. I don't know. You guys asked some questions. I don't really know where to start.
Yeah, we had talked about how both of your teams are just so versatile that they're hard to prep for.
Right.
Yeah, and I think bringing Togekiss may have thrown you a bit.
Yeah.
I think really focused on bringing it.
That was the Pokemon that I prepped the most for, was Togekiss, honestly. I mean, it just, was really the only thing that could deal with Kommo-o. If I had brought Kommo-o and just started setting it up, I don't really know what he could have done. But I just decided against it because Togekiss was such a good counter for it, and then he just didn't bring it at all. So,
I even said when we were practicing, oh yeah, Togekiss 100% going to be in every game.
Oh, it was the number one thing that I thought was going to be there. So that definitely threw me. Yeah, I don't know. It just was really surprising not to see it. He didn't have any redirection control. Togekiss is such a hard Pokemon to prep for because I don't know if it's going to be running support or offensive. So it could Dynamax on my face to get around to Fake Out. It could sit there and click Follow Me. So I don't know. I just focused so much time and energy into thinking about it. And then, he was definitely... Honestly, what I probably should have done to set up a Snarl, potentially. That maybe could have helped against Keldeo, and it wouldn't have procced Weakness Policy, which would have been really good. I don't know, but then I would have died to Steel Spike. I think I was just in a rough situation, game 2. And not being able to use Grass Knot, which was the grass move on Zeraora, on Dynamax, Marowak really sucks.
Yeah. When he tossed Marowak out, I was like, man, all he's got to do is max guard, and then he can't be touched by Zeraora after that. So he's pretty safe to sit there after turn 1, after your last turn of Dynamax.
Honestly, if I had Protect on a Fairy, I think I could have pulled it out. I took Protect off because I wanted to do a little bit more healing, so I've had Soft Boiled on there. If I'd protected that final game, he would have gotten a Steel Spike boost, but then he would have been forced because I made sure that Crawdaunt was faster than Marowak, so Marowak would have died to a Liquidation, even with a defense boost. So he would have had to protect because he would have died otherwise, and Keldeo can't 1v1 a Clefairy, even with Weakness Policy boosts, I don't think.
No.
So I think if I'd had Protect on Clefairy, I maybe could have taken that final game. But alas, here we are. I want Nate up in here too. What is he doing?
Bring him in here. I think the secret sword would have still killed Crawdon though, because it was still faster even at -1. I was kind of wondering if you would get like a helping hand liquidation, but I don't know that you were faster. So, congrats.
I definitely wasn't faster, so I certainly needed to click. But if I'd been able to kill and just keep clicking follow me. Hey Nate, we're talking about that last couple turns on the second game.
Okay, good game, man.
Hey, honestly, good games. I think that they were both pretty close.
You missing that Electroweb game 1 was like everything.
That Ndidi had a critical miss last game too. Like it's just schmoving.
Oh yeah, it did. Guys, where's your dodge button? Come on.
Indeed.
Wait,
just moving.
Oh wait, did you miss did it not die to an Electroweb?
You missed an Electroweb
turn 1
of game 1. And because of that, I was able to outspeed you. Turn 2.
Damn, dude. I didn't even realize that. That sucks.
Yeah, I think that kind of pushed game 1 into Nate's favor just because he got 2 big expanding forces off into Zeraora. Well, 1 into Zeraora and 2 into Arcanine.
And last game against Kokosho, it dodged a Snarl, and it was like,
yeah.
Come on!
Well, it dodged the Rock Slide.
Oh, the Rock Slide too, yeah, there was a Rock Slide. Or wait, okay.
Honestly, really surprised you scarfed Ndidi. I thought that putting Ndidi up against Crawdon, you would not want to be locked into anything.
Well, your team kind of got eaten up by Expanding Force. And like because of that, I was like willing to do it. And I also had like if you were to run like Crawdon out there first, I had Dazzling Gleam.
Exactly. That's why I didn't want to run first.
Because Crawdon is like has pretty bad special defense. I think I would have done like 50-ish% if you didn't Dynamax. So that was enough damage that I was willing to do that. And let it die. Because like I always knew I had like a special Keldeo in the back with Aura Sphere.
Yeah, I was really staking a lot on Crawdon because really Keldeo is the only thing that counters it other than Togekiss, which enormous balls for not bringing Togekiss, dude. Like that threw me off so hard.
Really? So I was like, my first thought was like, okay, I can do some like Togekiss stuff, and then I'm like, oh, Durant just like absolutely rails Togekiss, and there's nothing I could do about it.
Yeah, but the other thought was if you didn't have Togekiss and he brought Como, what were you going to do?
Yeah, dude.
I was gonna click Expanding Force and kill it, or Dazzling Gleam and kill it. Like, yeah, I mean those two moves just did a lot. And then, if Durant came out there and you didn't have like a redirection mod, I had Mystical Fire, which O-code D-Max Durant.
Yes, I did know that. Obviously, I had an Akaberry on him specifically for fire stuff, but I never even ended up bringing him.
Were you ready for that flamethrower on Tauros?
That was so stupid.
Wait, so stupid, dude! Flamethrower on Tauros, and I don't have it like I did. I think I had it special defense down instead of special attack because you don't have any special attackers. And
at Zeraora was special attack.
Oh well, yeah, you had like Grass Knot. The Grass Knot was really nice, like a nice adjustment game 2. You not killing with the Max Darkness was really big. I guess that was a dark move, wasn't it?
It was Snarl.
Or it was Snarl. Okay, that makes sense because my Indetti's special defense is really nice.
Exactly. If I had run knockoff, I think I probably would have killed you in 1 and then still set Leslie.
Even with -1, yeah.
Well, I almost took off Fake Out for it, but I was keeping Fake Out on specifically for Togekiss. And then it just never showed up, so...
I started freaking out that you would scarf either Arcanine or Zeraora, because, like, in Dede, I needed as much damage as I could get, so it's modest, it's not timid or whatever, because I still would outspeed a max speed Zeraora. But then I started getting concerned that you were just going to, like, Electroweb or something like that. I
built 6 teams for this game. And and a couple of them had Scarf Zeraora just to make sure that it outsped literally everything on your team.
Yeah.
I was more concerned you were going to run Trick Room, though, which...
yeah, I can see the concern there. I put a lot of thought into maybe like Araquanid. I don't really remember the reason that I decided not to. I just felt like these 6 like did a lot. Like Tauros wasn't in my initial like starting, but then like just due to like the physicality of your team, and then I think a really nice thing, like especially if you're running Indete, you can get a lot of damage out there before Dynamax. So like game 2 that came in really big, where I'm able to kind of stall out your Dynamax and still get like good damage in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My initial plans were to stall out your Dynamax, which both of us kind of played chicken a little bit game 1 with who's going to do it first. And I think that because I wasn't able to lower Indete's speed, I definitely needed to, and you know, just because you were dealing so much damage to me.
Yeah.
But game 2, I was like, I know, I like, if I try and, I know that now that this thing is scarfed, like, I know that I need to try and outpace it. And
yeah.
I was playing the long game with, I was hoping I could kill in 1 with the Snarl, and then that would get rid of, I would completely get rid of the terrain. Well, so it would lower special defense, and then I could get rid of terrain the next turn, which did end up happening. But because I needed to still spend time to kill Indeedee, you also got off more damage onto Zeraora. So a couple of rolls definitely weren't in my favor there, but that's all good.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest roll was not taking out... or not... That Electroweb miss, I think, probably lost you game 1.
Dude, turn 1, dude. Just completely... That sucks.
I felt really good. I really liked the way I played, like, the end of game 1. Like, getting my speed boost so that then Marowak is faster than Crawdon, and I felt like that was really, really well played on my part.
Were there any sneaky little strategies that you had in the back, potentially, like with the Alolan Persian or the Durant we never saw?
Okay, so when I was freaking out about your Scarf, I decided to put Fake Out on Persian. And Persian, I don't know, I kind of had this idea of Entei coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And Entei was special, and Heatwave was gonna mess up Durant. But the problem is Entei's slower than Durant, and Durant can kill it with like Max Quake or Max Rockfall.
Mm-hmm.
So I had thought about like Dynamaxing it, and I had Hyper Beam on there to drop your speed because I thought that would be really, really fun.
That would have been pretty funny.
I just never found a way where I could like get going before you did a lot of damage, so I ended up not doing it. I had a Persian Marowak idea because I was running like Icy Wind and Quash. That could like really roll through your team.
Mm-hmm. My biggest brain idea for your team that I was really nervous about was that you were going to Scarf Entei, because you could still outspeed Zeraora with that. I was thinking you could do some crazy stuff with like Bulldoze beside Togekiss.
Yep.
Or you could do, like, that would make sure that Heatwave went first. It also, I couldn't fake you out because of Inner Focus, so like that would be a really good idea for it too. You could get off a burn really quick on something with Sacred Fire. Like, it to me felt really solid, and I only thought of it today while I was at work, and I was like, shit, I hope he doesn't do that, because that would really mess me up.
I considered it for like half a second. I don't know. Indete just did more damage to more things. Like, you had too many... Like, you had Clefairy, which Entei is really not doing anything to, like, because Iron Head is physical.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. I just never felt like it was like, oh, this is, like, the play with that. Like, Heat Wave is nice, but, like, Expanding Force with, you know, full special attack. Indete Male, like, how many times do I have to say it, guys?
I think I don't know. I think what was cool about this final was, and they kind of mentioned it right whenever I hopped in, but it was like both of our teams, and this is what made prep so hard and why I spiraled about it for like 3 days.
Right.
Just because I had absolutely no idea what you were bringing. Like, you just had so many options at your disposal. There wasn't like a specific Pokemon in your team that was putting in more work than any other one. It was like all of them were really good and had served you really well. And I think the same is true for my team too, right? Like, I was able to, I think, honestly, like, I think my best plays in these 2 games, even though I lost both of them, were beginning of game 2. I felt like that was really something that needed to happen and that probably could have panned out for me if I had brought a different Pokemon in the back. But like running a special Zeraora was like actually viable in this matchup. I was really
yeah, you did a ton of damage to freaking Keldeo.
Yeah, and that was spread damage, Electroweb.
Yeah.
So like I had Thunderbolt on there for a little while, but with Marowak out, it wouldn't have mattered. So I was really hoping to get you trying to do like a Lightning Rod switch in of some sort with that, with the Grass Knot max Overgrowth, because I feel like that would have been a really solid bit of prep on my part. But
yeah, the Grass Knot, like once you showed it to get rid of the terrain, which was a really good idea, that's why I ended up Dynamaxing Marowak, because I thought Dynamaxing and protecting, because I thought the other play on your side would have been like Aqua Jet into Indete to kill before any damage, and then max whatever into Marowak. So that's why I Dynamaxed.
Keep your guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, yeah, I would have had to figure out something like when Keldeo came in to like kill, but yeah.
That's how you know it's a good finals match. I mean, all the conversation has just been between you two for the most part, which is just indicative of a really good match.
What was your Marowak just running max HP, max attack?
Yes, sir.
All right, hang on. Let me
no other reason. Like, there's nothing else you do, man. It just
what moves were on it?
Oh, Bonerang or
Yo.
Bonerang. Iron Head, Fire Punch, and Detect.
Ah, so it didn't really have. Well, I guess Boomerang into Crawdon is okay.
Oh,
so much damage.
Yeah, it really does. Marowak is nasty.
Yo, dude.
I would know.
Oh yeah, I did.
Hey, if I had run Crabhammer on Crawdon, there was a chance I OHKO'd Dynamax Marowak.
Interesting. Really?
That was my like last ditch play, as I was thinking if I just really needed to kill Marowak. I needed Marowak to be done with Dynamax, and you still had one more turn, which is definitely, I think, what won you the game. Because if
wait, did you kill a Dynamax Marowak?
With Crabhammer, yeah.
God damn!
Yeah, it's insane.
Jeez.
Crawdon's crazy.
Well, to be fair, I was like always clicking Aurasphere into there. Oh, I guess
Exactly.
Clefairy was still around.
And I was faster, so I definitely could have taken that for sure. Because even at this two, Keldeo just wasn't doing enough damage to Clefairy.
True, but I always had that Iron Head ready for it. Wow.
Exactly, but if I'd been able to kill you before you'd gotten off that Iron Head, could have been really crazy. And additionally, if I had, well, I don't know.
Wait, did you add in the 4 EVs I had into defense?
Yep.
What's the roll?
It's only like 10%, so it's not very much. But
oh, okay. It
could have happened.
Yeah.
I was running Choice Band for a second.
That's a better percent than you missing that Electroweb. So.
If I was running Choice Band, which I had been for a little bit, that's a 90% roll.
True.
but I would have had to been running Choice Band. I had Choice Band on for a second, but then I didn't like getting locked into Aqua Jet if you came out with the Psychic Terrain, so...
Yeah, and, like, it kind of ruins it as a Dynamax option.
Exactly. And as I was doing prep for it, I really found that, like, it does so much into your team. Like, again, I think Keldeo was really the only one that could 1v1 it, other than maybe Togekiss.
I mean, a Rockwooded probably would have stalled it out, right?
No, man, I think a...
Water Bubble.
Doesn't that
Yeah, but Rockwood's physical defense is garbage, so...
It's like 92. Its HP is pretty
No.
low. Yes, it is.
TA
Its special defense is like 150 something.
Oh, it's 130.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Choice Band. Life Orb knockoff into Araquanid does 92. Oh, that's a 62% chance to OHKO.
Jeez.
Max HP. Dude, Crawdaunt, I'm going to sing his praises until the end of time. It is a sick Pokemon.
Yeah, it is.
Honestly, overpowered should be banned.
Says the Volcano Man.
Well, his Crawdaunt beat me, so...
That's true.
Well, I mean, like, Nate... Oh, Skinner, are you leaving?
Yeah, I gotta go, but good game, guys.
I gotta head out, too.
Thanks, man.
Oh, bye, guys.
Awesome games. I will see you all
Wait,
next
did you
season.
do the radio voice?
Yes. I did it for the intro.
Yes, he did.
Let's go!
We're always out here, man. Caleb is committed to the bit.
I had to do it for finals, at least.
All
right.
Well, talk to you guys later. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Nate.
Yeah.
Are we still recording or do we stop it?
I can stop it whenever you guys want.
Okay, I wanted to ask this. I mean, just like, I feel like this is a ceremonious time, right? Like it's the end of the last season.
Dynamax.
Of Dynamax. Like, you won 2 of them. Do you,
I did.
Do you have any closing thoughts, like, on your team? Do you have, like, thoughts about this season or, you know, how it compares to your other seasons?
You know, gosh, I have a lot of thoughts. So I don't think that this team clearly wasn't as dominant as my previous victorious team. But it was super well rounded, and I effectively had like 7 Pokemon who could come in and like sweep and like do a good job, do different things, which is like a big thing. I probably had a couple things that like usually like I really like Prankstermon. I didn't have any of that, but like Persian does a really good job being dark and being fast of doing those sort of things. I think I had a pretty decent matchups going through the playoffs, and a whole lot of luck, like just a ridiculous amount of luck.
So much luck.
Yeah, like you know, like going up against Kokosho and the Rock Slide, you and the Electro Web, but also like I think Daniel might have had a better counter to my team than Kokosho, so Kokosho beating him I think might have helped me. And then I had no idea what I would do against Jesse, because Jesse's team like absolutely walled like so many of my options, so that you then beating him I felt like gave me more of a chance of winning. I don't know, I like Dynamax, you know, pretty cool. I think it added some things. Like I think I play well, like really hyper offensively, and Dynamax like gives you a really good chance to get going like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a really interesting mechanic, and one that like has been really fun to kind of learn. Like it's my first time ever really playing competitive Pokemon is in this league. Also, just want to say, second place, I feel pretty good. Not
You should feel great, man.
I literally started playing competitive Pokemon whenever I joined this league, so that was 2 seasons ago. But it's been a really fun mechanic to play around with and to like enable really great Pokemon. Like Durant was like a killer in my opinion on this team that I built, and would not be that way without Dynamax.
Yeah, without Dynamax, like unless like I've had both of them on, but like if you compare Durant and Victini like next season, like that's a little spice there.
That's only 1.1, right? So he still has like 90% accurate moves all the time, which
yeah.
I think honestly, I think doing some sort of quick gravity user could be really interesting with him. Like,
I always forget about gravity.
I know everyone does because it's not good, but like, if you can enable,
doesn't Sigalith have it?
I used gravity one time and lost. So.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Oh, that was a brutal game.
But I think this was a pretty good way to. I think that like the Dynamaxing and R2 games were a pretty good way to send it off. Like,
yeah,
it kind of showed off. You know,
I mean, like we did everything. Like you changed, special defense and like dropped some stuff. Then you changed terrain, which like did a lot to Indete. And then like max protects, and I don't know if any of my, I guess game one, my stuff, like game one, I had a max airstream, which I think ended up killing your Tangrowth and then boosting my Marowak to be faster than your, Crawdaunt. Like that's a massive change right there.
Ooh, if I'd had a little bit more HP for that Tangrowth, like Hoba Berry on it, so
yeah,
that maybe could have done something. I don't know. But yeah, man, it's a fun mechanic. It's one that I'm honestly probably ready to kind of move on from. I think that we've kind of like as a league really explored kind of like all the reaches of it, like
especially going into National decks.
Yeah, absolutely. Like finding the Pokemon that really benefit from it, and just kind of working out all the different facets of it. It's been really exciting and fun to be a part of. But I'm really excited to move on and do that again with this next season.
Yeah, I guess my closing thoughts on my team. I think this is like probably the most fun team I've had. I've been able to use like all of them on like super effectively. I don't think there was ever there was never a thought in my mind during the season of dropping anyone. Like even Tauros, which I think was my like least used mod, like it just had so much utility in Intimidate and then like being a really good fast hitter. And like insane move pool. Like there was never a chance that I was dropping anything or making really any trades. And it was a lot of fun. I'm really happy with my team. What are your thoughts on your team as we close out?
I honestly agree, and I kind of hold that I think that's the reason both of us got as far as we did. Just because this has been my first team also that I haven't had like 2 Pokemon with 36 kills and everything else with nothing. Yeah. Like first season I had Barraskewda, and then last season I had Metagross, and like both times that would just be like, all right, how do I make that Pokemon sweep this week? This time it was like really interesting to get to play around with. I don't know exactly which Pokemon is going to be pulling off the sweep, or is going to be supporting, or is going to be enabling. And that makes for really fun planning and team building and prep. So it's going to be something that I'm going to try and emulate in the future, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, congrats, man. Congrats on literally a perfect season. I don't think that is going to happen anytime soon, hopefully.
I hope not. I mean, unless it's me.
Really good. I think that this was also probably the week out of maybe the whole season that I felt least confident going into. I just didn't feel like I had a plan that felt like it was really going to work.
Yeah.
You know, like 90% of the time. I just felt like I needed to try and adapt to what I thought you were going to do and go from there. Which I think I did game 2, and it just didn't pan out for me, so.
You definitely did. Yeah, I was... Yeah. Game 2, sometimes I switch it up. I ended up running the same team. Even knowing that, like, you missed an electro weapon, that was a big deal. So
I definitely thought you would switch it up. So to see the same things again, like, I think that what I led, like, definitely still worked with what you led, but maybe if you led something else, it could have helped even more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was one of the things that I was prepared for. Is I thought that you would definitely switch it up and do something else game 2, just because I feel like you usually do that.
Yeah, I had some ideas of like Keldeo was a pretty strong lead. I was thinking just because of like airstream and then let you pop weakness policy, then I'm faster and stronger.
Weakness policy definitely sucked. That was not a fun thing to do when I'm in in a rough spot at the end of a game.
Yep. Sorry.
Good shit. All right. Well, good games, man.
Good games to you.
Let's do the mini season.